Are you recording it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So thank you for getting on the call for you guys. Me and Mars wanted to put together this training, like this mini training, because most of you guys in here have just finished the academy, and you're not really trading on your own yet. You're probably confused about, how to transition from the academy to going into market structure, to learning a strategy, to then be able to trade on your own. So Mars actually knows this strategy better than I do, which is why she's going to lead the training. But basically what we want to do for you guys is to give you a super easy strategy that you can use on the harmonic scanner. So that way you're scalping the market, getting in and out of trades. So that way, while you're learning market structure and really learning how the market moves, you can still make money and make profits. We all want to make money in the markets. That's the goal of this platform. For me and Mars, we want to see you guys making money in the markets as well as, building the business, if that's what you're trying to do as well. So the first step is getting plugged into the products. So now that you've finished the academy basics, you're still studying the basics while you're learning market structure. You can use this strategy that we're going to teach you on the harmonic scanner. It's super easy. It's literally, the hardest part is setting up the indicators, and then from there you literally just mark off if the indicators are correct and the confirmations, and then you get in the trades. So, we want to see you guys making money, and this is a perfect strategy that's super easy for beginners, using the harmonic scanner. So the harmonic scanner is 85% accurate, but with an additional strategy on top of it, it becomes 96% accurate. So we're teaching you something that actually works and is super easy. So everyone, please have a notebook out, pen and paper, literally write down every single step, because what you hear, you're only going to retain 5% of it, and then you're going to go on the harmonic scanner and not know what to do. So please, please, please get a notebook, write down everything. All the indicators that Mars is going to talk about, I'm going to put in the chat box, so you have two sources, what she's saying and then what I'm writing down. But please, write everything down. I promise you it's going to help you, and the steps are super simple. If you have any questions, write them down for when the training is over, and then we'll talk about any questions at the end so we don't get distracted. So write down any of your questions, and please ask anything that you need. There's only 6 of us on the call, so there should be no reason why you're scared to ask questions. So yeah, we're just going to start it off there. Mars, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Thanks. All right, guys. So going ahead and share my screen. So first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead. I have the harmonic scanner pulled up, right? So this is the harmonic scanner. I use the newer version, harmonic.im. I don't use the IML harmonic scanner. When you go on here, on the side is going to have different brokers. I have Hugo's Way and I have KOT Forex, but I'm actually switching all my accounts to KOT, so I'm going to be using like FX Choice. You can use Hugo's Way. I don't really know much about Trader's Way, all these other things, but I mostly just look at Hugo's Way and FX Choice. So let's just start with FX Choice. So when you get to harmonic scanner, obviously this is how it's going to look. This is automatically the settings are on the harmonic scanner when you log in. You do see the pattern right there that it's predicting. Obviously it's predicting a buy right now because the take profits are above the entry, right? So, but for this strategy, the only reason why I'm teaching it to you guys on the harmonic scanner is because with all the indicators that are in this strategy, you're not able to get it on TradingView. There's too many indicators, and if you want them on TradingView, you have to pay extra. So if when you come on here, all you have to do is really just delete the harmonic scanner pattern. What I did is I just clicked, like, I'll go here. I just like clicked on the D and I just click delete like that. Hold on, wait. Like that. And the harmonic scanner pattern is now gone. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up the MA cross strategy. And here it is, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the indicators. So you guys can take screenshots. It's really, really important that you do this correctly, right? Because then you're gonna be messing up your trades if you don't have the indicators incorrectly. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna add different EMAs, right? You're gonna be going to indicators. There's a button called indicators, and you're gonna type in EMA. It's going to say moving average exponential. You're going to click it 2 times, and then you're going to type in moving average, or you're just going to type in MA, and you're just going to click moving average. And then you're going to have EMA. Let me kind of move out of this a little bit so you guys can see what I have going on. Okay, right here. You have 2 EMAs. You have EMA 50, EMA 10, MA4, and an MA-EMA cross, which I'm going to show you guys later. So for the first EMA, these are going to be the settings. You guys, I would say don't take a screenshot. I would say write it down. So if you're on this call, you definitely need to have a notebook out. So for the first EMA, the inputs are going to be 50 close 1, or 50 close 0, I'm sorry, 50 close 0. The style, you're going to have plot checked off. It's going to be blue. And you're going to want to make sure that the line is thick. So don't have it like that. I'd probably put it on the 3rd or 4th level, right? And then you just keep precision as default. So your next EMA is going to be the 10. So your inputs are going to be 10 close 0. Style, I have it as like a purplish color. You can make it red. And then make sure that it's on the 3rd thickness level. And then everything else is the same. And then for the MA, the inputs, you're going to have length 4, source close, offset 0. The style, you're going to make it black. You're going to make the line thick, right? And that's it for the MA. Now to get the MA EMA cross, you literally just type in MA/EMA and it says MA with EMA cross. And the settings, is my camera not on? Oh, it is on. Okay, my bad. So the settings for the MA EMA, length for the MA is 4, length for the EMA is 10. So what this is going to show is like every time the 4 and the 10 cross, a little plus sign cross looking thing symbol is going to pop up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So you uncheck MA, uncheck EMA, and you have the crosses checked, and you have it as black, make it thick. And right here, if you see on my screen, right there is a cross, right here is a cross, right there is a cross, right there is a cross, right there's a cross, right? What I did is sometimes I can't really see those crosses well, so I added this thing called the price line, but for some reason on the harmonic scanner it doesn't really pop up. The price line doesn't pop up, but I have it on the Gold Cup add-on, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. So this strategy, I do want to mention that you're going to get the most out of this strategy if you do have Gold Cup. The reason being is that once I teach you guys the strategy, you're going to see that you're going to have to go on the harmonic scanner like throughout the day and see if you can catch when the MAs or the EMAs are crossing. With the Gold Cup app, the Gold Cup website, it literally tells you, it gives you alerts when something is crossing, so you can just like automatically hop on. So for example, here's an MA cross. So just recently, literally right now, they're crossing for GJ, or they haven't crossed yet, but they just crossed at, what time was that? 22. So let's say like 10. No, it's 10 right now. I'm not good at military time. What's 22 minus 12? Somebody tell me. 10. It's 10 right now. Okay. Anyways, so at 10, it crossed. So literally they give you like little alerts at the side when they cross, so you can just go through and see what pair you want to look at and analyze. On the harmonic scanner, you're going to have to go through all these pairs and see if you can catch it. And the way that you catch it is you're going to see these crosses. So what I mean by that line that I was talking about is on the Gold Cup actual add-on, I have the line set up. So I have this dotted line right here. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about that, but I just wanted you guys to see the dotted line, because the dotted line helps me see when, if I put my cruiser over it, it helps me see when the most recent cross was and if I could still get in or not. But you can still, on the harmonic scanner, you could see it pretty fairly. Like there's a cross right there. That was the most recent cross. All right. So those are your settings for the first box. So for the second box, you're going to have 2 MACDs. You're going to go on indicators. You're going to type in MACD. You're going to click it 2 times. All right. So when you click it 2 times, these two are going to be separated. Let me see if I can show you guys how it looks. Give me a second. Okay, so like I said, when you go here, in MACD, you click it 2 times, right? Or 2 times, my bad, I clicked it 3 times. Once you set up these settings, you're gonna have to combine everything together. So for the first one, you don't have to combine anything because they all pop up on your actual candlestick chart. But for the MACDs and all the rest of these, they're gonna pop up separately and you have to combine them. So for the first 2 MACDs, when you finish setting them up with the settings I give you, if you click on the actual line like that, these little dots are gonna pop up, right? So if you click on the second one, you press and hold the dot and you drag it up into this box, and that's how you combine 2 indicators together, okay? So please remember that because that's very, very important. So let's go back to the settings. So for the first MACD, your settings, the input is going to be 5, 10, close, and 1. And then the style is going to be histogram black, right? MACD blue, signal green. And you want to make sure that these lines are thick. So I usually put it on the 3rd thickness. Okay, so that's for the first MACD. Second MACD, you're going to put 12, 18, close 1. The style is going to be black for the histogram, right? You're going to check the price line. So you're going to go like that and make sure it's blue. MACD is unchecked, signal is red. And you make it thick. So that's for the second MACD. All right, so now we're going to go on to the third box, which is momentum, MFI, RSI. So we call these RMMs. And you're going to have to do the same thing I showed you before, where you have to combine all of them in one. So for the MOM, all you have to do is type in MOM on the indicator. It's going to say momentum. It's going to be length 10. You don't have to change the source because it's always going to say close, but length 10, source close. Close, check the MOM. It's going to be blue. Make the thickness thick. That's it for the MOM. For MFI, length is going to be 5. Style, everything's going to be unchecked except for plot, and it's going to be green. All right, and then for RSI, we're going to have it as length 5. Style, the plot is going to be this, you can make it like purple, purple, pink, and the upper limit is going to be black, right? The line is going to be a dotted line, and then this number, you're going to change it to 50, and the other things, you're going to keep it unchecked. All right. So now we're going to go on to the DMI. You just type in, did I do RSI? Yeah, I did. All right, we're going to go to DMI. You're just going to type in DMI on the indicators. It's going to pop up. Your settings are going to be DI 5, ADX1. Style, you're going to have everything checked. You're going to have it as blue, red, and black. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the indicators. So now we're going to get into the actual strategy. So guys, like Lauren said in the beginning of the call, this is going to be for everybody who is still practicing and working on market structure, right? So market structure, you don't need a product for it, but this—
Wait, hold on one sec. Do you guys have any questions on the indicators, or you missed anything? No? Okay, continue.
Okay, so nobody has any questions. Type a 111 if you're straight. There's 9 people on this call, so like Lauren said, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's literally like your private training so you can be profitable. And honestly, like, I want you guys to use this because I'm taking the time out my day to teach you this, because you can literally use this tonight and make money. All right, we're clear? Okay, cool. So like I said, this is for the people who you do want to learn market structure. You want to get good at marking up your zones. You want to get good at marking up your trend lines and predicting where price can go and da-da-da, not depend on the product. But right now, you know, a lot of people, it takes them a while to figure out market structure. You have to go through the boot camps that we provide, Manny's boot camps, Joshua Walls. You have to study, like you have to study. So using the harmonic scanner, this is how you're going to be profitable while you're studying. So right here, we're gonna get into the strategy. So like I said, when you go on here, let's say that I went to go to Hugo's Way, I would recommend doing the strategy on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. So let's go to the 1 hour, let's go to odd JPY, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I wanna get rid of the harmonic scanner pattern because I just don't wanna see it. I'm not, you can use the take profits, right? And for an extra confirmation that you're going in the right direction, but for now, just delete the harmonic scanner pattern so it's not like hurting your eyes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the first step. This is gonna be the first step, okay? So we're gonna be looking for right here, one, you're gonna look for the EMAs to cross. And it could be any EMAs or MAs, right? It could be the 4 and the 10, or it could be the 4 and 50 crossing, right? That's going to be your first thing to look for. Look for EMAs to cross. It could be 4 and 10 or 4 and 50. That's your first thing, right? Now, next, what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for the cross. Or let me mention as well that when you're looking for the EMAs or the MAs to cross, let me edit this. I don't know why it's doing this right now. It's like popping up right in front of the text. All right, so crossing, if they cross going down, it's a sell. If they cross going up, it's a buy. So I'm going to explain this right now. And if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Like, I don't want you to leave this call being lost. Like, that's not the point, right? So, for example, right here, they crossed going downwards. So this would be a selling opportunity. Right here, they cross going up. So that would be a buying opportunity. Right here, they cross going up. That's a buy opportunity, right? I think pretty much everyone is understanding what I'm saying when I mean when they cross going up and down, right? So if you didn't follow, just say something in the chat so I can just go back over it. Now let me delete these. That's what I meant by them crossing. Now your second thing you're going to be looking for is the actual MA-EMA cross, which is this symbol right here. So let me see if you guys can see it. So can everybody see this black cross here, type of 777, if you can see the black cross right there, the black cross right there, right? Okay, great. So that's going to be your second thing. Look for MA/EMA cross symbol. All right, let's put that right there. Now, number 3, what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for a flat bottom or a flat top candle. Because, oh, something, I'm sorry guys, totally forgot about this. You're not going to be using regular candlesticks. You're going to be using Heikin Ashi candlesticks, and Heikin Ashi candlesticks show momentum. So most of them are going to be flat top and flat bottom, and that's what we use this strategy with. So make sure when you set up your indicators, you also set it up as Heikin Ashi, and you also don't want to lose these indicators, so you're going to want to go here and click save. And when you click save, it's going to ask you to name it, and just name it whatever you want. MA cross strategy, whatever that you want to name it. So let me go ahead, delete this harmonic scanner pattern. So I'll write this down. 3 for a buy. For buy, flat bottom. For a sell, flat top candle, right? So I'm probably gonna have to delete these. So Lauren, can you type them in the chat? So guys, so we saw this, for example, is crossing down. We see that it's a sell. We have a cross, it's selling. And now we see that is this a flat top? Let's go ahead, let's zoom in and see. This right here where that black cross happened is not a flat top candle. So I wouldn't have entered in. I would not have entered in, right? It's about to cross again right here, and this is a flat top, so maybe this would be a good entry. But as for this cross right here, I would not have gotten in because there's not a flat top candle, right? So those are the 3 steps. And I'm just going to give you guys the steps first, and then we're going to go over different markups so we can see different examples and different opportunities. So Next, after you identify those three things in this top box, you're going to go to the MACDs. So for the MACDs, you're just going to want it for a buy. You're going to want for a buy. How can I word this? Both lines above 0 with red following green. For a sell, both lines below the 0 with green following red. So in this example, right here, you can see, let's go to a good, I want to go to an actual example because it's going to be better if you guys can follow along. So right here, right? So the MA's crossed going upward, so that's a buy. Now we see the plus sign symbol, the little cross right there, right? That's our second confirmation, and our third confirmation is that this is a flat bottom candle. So I'm going to put a little tick right here so everybody can see that's where we got in. So let me just make it black. Let me make it thick. Boom. Right? So our second thing that we're looking for is we want these lines, right? For a buy, we want the lines above the 0. So right here, this is the 0 line. You have a dotted line right at the 0. You see where it says 0 for price? So you're going to want these two lines to be above the 0. As you can see, the green is above the red. So that shows that it's in a buy and they're both above the 0. Now for the MACDs, it's not necessary that the green has to be on top of the red, but it is better if the green is above the red. But as long as you're above the 0 line, you're good for a buy, right? And if it's below, it's good for a sell. So the next thing you have to look for are these. And it's the same exact thing. The colors don't matter. All you have to see is that all the lines are above the 0, right? I don't know why this is not perfectly on the 0. Let me see. I don't know why it's not perfectly on there. Oops. Sorry guys, I have the same exact settings on my Gold Cup and it is perfectly on the 0. So let me just figure this out because I don't want you guys to have anything wrong. Yeah, that's exactly how I have it. I see something in the chat box. Okay, cool. Yeah, just ignore it. It's like literally right next to the 0. So I'm just very like precise. But what you want to be looking for is you want these lines to be above the 0. So the 0 is right here, right? You see the price right there. That's the 0. Oops. So as long as all these lines are above the 0, then that's your confirmation for a buy, right? So I'm going to put the little thing right there. Let me delete this one. So all these lines are above the 0, which is at this, I just marked it. It's a little bit under this dotted line that I have. But as long as they're above, you're going to be looking for a buy. If they're below, you're going to be looking for a sell. So above 0, buy. Below 0, sell. All right. And the last thing is going to be your DMI. So for a DMI, for a buy, you're going to be looking for blue above to be above the red line. For a sell, you're going to be looking for the red to be above the blue line. I'll just put line, right? And for both scenarios, you want the black line to be above the 50. So what do I mean by that? So here in this scenario, we're looking for a buy, right? So I'm gonna keep looking down with my confirmation list, my checklist, and right here I see that the blue is above the red, so that's telling me it's a buy. Is the black line above the 50? No, not yet. It's at the 37 line. Would I have still gotten in this trade? Probably yes, because everything is lining up perfectly. But if you want an even more valid entry, you could have waited until the line got above the 50, which it did right here at this candle, this one right here. But to be honest, I probably would have still gotten because it was rising. I knew that it was going up in that direction. But, you know, what I mean by that is like right here, there's no line. So you're going to have to look at it. It says 0, 40, 80. The 50, if you move your cruiser, the 50 is going to be right around this area, right? So it's this blue line. So you guys can see it a little clearer. That's the 50. So right here, it wasn't above the 50 yet. It became above the 50 right there. My bad. Just add another line. So I would have actually still entered here, but it would have been better if you waited until like somewhere like right at this candle to enter, but you probably would have missed a lot because of that. But you still could have gotten a good profit. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go over the take profit and the stop loss, and then we'll go over some more examples. So for this strategy, the risk to reward ratio isn't that good, to be honest. So it's going to be for the take profit, you're going to be looking at 40 or 35 to 40 pips. And for the stop loss, you're going to be looking at 30 to 35 pips. So I know that that's like a 1-to-1 basically, but the whole point of this strategy, guys, is to have your stop loss kind of a little bit bigger, because they know that using this strategy, it's most likely that your stop loss is not going to be hit if you get in at a good entry. And your take profit is going to be a consistent 35 to 40 pips. You can even make it 20 pips. So that way, if you're consistently catching 35 pips, 40 pips, what's going to happen is over time, if you know how to do this correctly, over time you can change your lot size. So right now, if you're catching 40 pips and you're on the smallest lot size, you're going to be making like what, $4. But over time, if you go ahead and you increase your lot size, you can start to make $40 and then $400. So that's kind of the point with this strategy, is like you want to be making consistent wins and just move your lot size up rather than chasing a whole bunch of pips. Because you know, when you're doing like regular market structure, you're trying to catch as much pips as you want with a small lot size, because the more pips you catch with a small lot size, you can make more money. With this strategy, it's all about just catching a certain amount of pips every single time and just increasing your lot size with the accuracy. So let's go ahead and let's go to other examples. So let's go to like the 4 hour. Let me see if there's anything we could look at. I'm gonna get interactive with you guys because I want to make sure everybody understands this. All right, let's see. All right, let's just do this one. So let me expand this. Da-da-da. All right. Let me see who's here. Okay, Courtney, I'm gonna pick on you. So, what is the first step? We just open up this chart.
I think you have them muted. I don't know if they can unmute themselves.
No, they gotta mute themselves.
Oh. Girl, come on. You can answer it. The first step, bruh.
Courtney, unmute yourself right now.
Oh my God.
Can I say, oh,
What's
Yes,
up?
please.
can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
You look for the EMAs to cross?
Exactly.
Or
So,
EMAs?
yeah. So they did cross right here, the black and the red, and then what do you see?
The cross.
The plus sign
Yep.
or the cross?
And then what kind of candlestick are we looking for?
A flat something? What is it called?
Flat bottom or top? What is it? Bottom?
Bottom or top. Okay.
Exactly. So for a sell, you're going to be looking for a flat top. For a buy, you're going to be looking for a flat bottom. So right here in our first box, we have all our confirmations there. So the EMA/MA crossed going down, that's a sell, right? We have the EMA/MA cross symbol. So that's a confirmation that it crossed, right? And then we have a flat top candlestick. So that is also a sell. So now, right now, we're thinking we're going to sell this, right? Those are our first 3 confirmations. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move down to the MACDs. So, Courtney, you're not safe. So what are you looking for with the MACDs?
Bro, come on. I know you know this. Courtney.
Oh my god, don't ask me these questions.
This is like the easiest question ever.
MACDs, what are you looking for?
I don't freaking know.
Did you write down
Can I
notes?
say?
Hold on, Courtney. Did you write notes?
I'm using the ones that Lauren's putting in the thing.
Okay, it's right there then. For MACDs, what?
The buy.
Okay, what does it have to be? Above what?
Zero line.
Okay, and for a sell, what does it have to be?
Below.
Okay, then.
Okay, so right now, this would not be a good sell because the green, yeah, is going down, but the red hasn't reached underneath the zero line yet. So this wouldn't be good right now. So remember, I'm going to say this again. So
both
below
lines,
zero,
not just one.
yeah, it has to be both.
Both. Okay.
So right now, this is not a good opportunity. Now for the third box, let's pick on Carly. What are we looking for this third box? If we're getting in for a sell.
I set the, all of the lines to be above the zero.
Yeah, so for a sell, we're going to be looking.
Oh, a sell, sorry, below.
Yes. So I'm trying to figure out, guys, to be honest, like I copied this exactly from the educator. I'm trying to figure out why this line isn't exactly at the zero. It's kind of like aggravating me.
I'm gonna see if it's on mine too, like that.
Okay, yeah, do that, please.
Wait, what do you mean below or above the zero? Can you do that example again?
Yeah. 1 second. Okay, so these three lines, there's a dotted line right here that's the zero. For a cell, you want all three lines to be below, going underneath it. And for a buy, you want them to be above.
Okay.
So right now, all three lines are above or are below for a cell. So I would say that this is a good confirmation for a cell. All right. So now let's go to the last box. Yasmin, can you tell me what we're looking for a cell in the last box?
We're looking for the red line to be above the blue line.
Okay, correct. And what about the black line?
The black line has to be above the 50.
Perfect.
Which indicator are you looking at, Mars? The one that doesn't hit zero, the mom?
It's the RSI.
RSI.
So for the cell, the red is going to be above the blue, the black line above 50. And it's the same thing for a buy, but it's just the blue is going to be above the red and the black line has to be above 50. So for each, I want you guys to understand this black line is showing how strong the buying or selling power is. So you want it to be above, always, above the 50 always. Right now, this kind of looks crazy, so I wouldn't be looking to get into it. So if you don't have all four confirmations, don't get into this trade.
Yeah, mine's not on directly on the zero either, so.
Okay, so I'll just take note of who is in this call right now. Let me take a picture and I'm going to go back to my notes and I'm going to make sure that everything is correct. But when I click the RSI and I click style, when you put it to 50, it's like over here, right in the middle of the box. But if you put it to like 38, it's right on the zero. So if you guys want for now, just put your upper limit for the RSI, change your upper limit to 38, just so it could be right exactly on the zero, guys. Oh no, wait, that's why. No, hold on.
At least it's not at 0 at 38.
Okay. This thing changes if you make it bigger. Okay, what the? Keep it at 50 because you know how like when you go like this, LA, to make the chart skinnier or bigger for you to see, it is at 0. It's just that like when you move this and stuff to make it wider and stuff,
Okay.
that's what happens.
And if you guys want for the DMI, if you want to just put a horizontal line like at 50, you can see whether or not that black line is above it. Can you scroll down on your thing real quick?
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to see what the heck just happened. Where did my things go? Oh, they're over here. Okay, no. Okay.
And guys, to get to the harmonic scanner, you can type in what she has in her web browser, the harmonics.im, or you can log into im.center. I'll put it in the chat box. You go to im.center, then you go to strategies on the left-hand side, like right where you would get to the academy, and then you scroll down and it'll say harmonics. And then this will pop up. And once you guys save the layout on your harmonics, then you can use it to any other pair you click on, it'll automatically load onto that pair. So make sure, if you guys aren't setting it up now, make sure that when you do set it up, you save it, or else you'll have to do this every single time. So just save it and label it.
Yeah, guys. And for Courtney, I want you guys to write down all of this stuff in a notebook. You can't take screenshots of this. Write this down in a notebook. Have all the rules, have all the indicators in a notebook. So,
and also, if anyone, Carly, Courtney, Yasmin, if anyone that doesn't have a live account already, if you guys want to start using this on a live account, and you need to set up a live account after this call, let me know and I can show you how to do that. So you can, obviously at first I would start doing it on your demo just a couple of times, play around with it. And then if you want to start your live account, then let me know after this call so we can get you set up.
Mars, do you see this?
that.
Stop.
Yes, I'm writing. Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to find.
Do you have to pay for the harmonic scanning?
No.
Huh?
No? Okay.
No, the harmonic scanner comes with your membership.
Okay.
Yeah, this is why we want you guys to use this, because you don't have to pay anything extra for it. The harmonic scanner is already included in your membership. Just not many people take the time to go use the harmonic scanner, but a lot of people make a lot of money off of it. So with a strategy on top of it, it's 96% accurate. So use this while you guys are learning more market structure, so you guys can be making money every day with this tool.
Okay, let's do another example. So here, I'm going to show it to you guys. Right here, we have a cross. So the red and the blue crossed, and there's a little cross plus sign right here on this candle. So if you go and you zoom into this candle, you see that it is not a flat bottom for a buy. So you're going to want to wait until the next flat bottom, which is right here, right? So now we're going to look at the second one. Are both lines above the 0? No, they're not. So I'm going to wait until both lines are above the 0, and they ended up being above the 0 right here, right? Right there. That's where it happened. Next, we're going to look here. Are all 3 lines above the 0? It didn't happen yet until around, literally it was on this line until basically right here at this candle, right? Next, the next thing is going to be for a buy. The blue is above the red with a black up high. It wasn't really that strong here because the black wasn't above the 50. Finally, the black came above the 50 right here. So you mark it. So you can move this over here because it is a flat bottom, and all the confirmations line up, and you would have gotten in at this candle. So if you would have gotten in at this candle, right, using the stop loss rules, right here, if you go on here, you click the long position, right? Long means buy, short means sell. The way I remember that is the short starts with the S and sell is sell, right? Sell starts with the S. And then the long position, you click on it. When you see this flat bottom, you could have either entered on this candle with all your confirmations lined up or on the next candle. But let's say you went ahead and you entered on this candle, right? If you double click that, you can go ahead in your coordinates and you can put it, I'm gonna show you guys two ways. You can either go like this. Excuse me. All right, look, focus on these numbers right here. If I drag this up, it's gonna say 700, whatever, that's 70 pips. If I drag it down, if I want 40 pips, I'm gonna put it at 40, ignore the last number. And then for the stop loss, if I wanted to make it like 35, I'll put it right there. If you're like me, you don't feel like dragging it. If you just go to profit, you just type in 40. And if you go to stop loss, you just type in 350 because you ignore the last number, right? And it's like this. So if you got into this trade, right, you would have caught your 40 pips in the first candle. So literally in 1 hour, you would have caught less than 1 hour. You would have caught 40 pips, because I want you guys to remember that all the candlesticks are represented by whatever time frame you're on. So right now we're looking at the 1 hour time frame from the candle opened right here and the candle closed right here. So the candle didn't even get halfway. So this literally happened in probably like almost less than 30 minutes for this to happen. So in less than 30 minutes, you caught your 40 pips and you were out. For this reason, you don't have to be waiting to see how many pips that you can get. But if you put your stops into profit, you could have made a good, like, what is this, 221 pips, right? Off of this trade alone, you could have made 221. Now, another way that Delano, which is the educator that teaches this strategy, and the only way to access this strategy is by going on Gold Cup. You have to add the Gold Cup. What he does is for his take profits, he'll set them at the previous level. So this is where market structure comes into play. This is only if you want to catch like higher moves. But if you just stick with the stop loss rules, you could just catch your 40 pip profits. So if I zoom out, right, I see that my last high was right here. So I could have put my take profit at this last high, and I could have been going for 160 pips. So right here, as you can see, when we got in, it never went back down and touched our stop loss, right? So it's a really, really good strategy. So you could have either caught your 40 pips and just been happy with whatever you got, your $4, your $40, whatever, or you could have taken it up another 160 pips to the previous high, right? So that's that. As well as, what is this? Let's see. Delete.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If you put the take profit, would it get you out of the market once it hits take profit, or do you have to get yourself out of the market?
It takes you out. When you set that in your MetaTrader, it'll take you out once price hits that area.
What if you set a take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3? Then it will go all the way to the third profit?
You have to physically change. You can't set more than one take profit. So you'd have to, when it's close to hitting your first take profit, then you move it to the second. When it's close to hitting your second, then you move it to the third.
Okay, got you.
Usually what I do, I only set 2 take profits because you're more likely to hit 2 than you are 3. And it depends how long you want to stay in the market for. Because the market can always reverse right before it's about to hit your third take profit, and then you would lose. That's why you want to move. This is for a little more advanced, but that's why you move your stop loss to break even or into profit. So that way, if something like that happens, you don't you still can secure some profits. But for right now, I would just set 1 take profit and just collect your pips and go. Yeah.
Because on MetaTrader, when you go on it, if you see, there's only one option for a take profit. You can't set multiple take profits. So you either set your TP1 or your TP2 and you just let it ride and trust your stop loss. But for now, I would just tell you guys to just stick with the 40 pips, 40, 35 to 40 pip take profit and practice this strategy and see if you can do it right.
All right, so does anyone have any questions at all about the strategy?
Yeah, do you want us to go over any more examples?
Really,
Huh?
this was actually really easy.
Yeah, the hardest part is setting up the indicators. That's it.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, Mars, like, is there a reason you like use what is it, the other instead of Hugo's Way? Is that what you said? FX choice.
I just use both of them. It doesn't matter, but the other ones I don't really know what brokers go good with them. So if you have Hugo's Way or KOT Forex, FX Choice and Hugo's Way are the best ones to be accurate with the price. So I just use both of these two.
Yeah, mostly use like Hugo's Way because that's the broker you're gonna have. So all of those pairs, once you click Hugo's Way, all of those pairs below are the ones you can trade with.
I was just wondering if there's a difference in them. If there's a reason why you use one over the other. All right.
So here's a quick another one before we leave. So right here on this chart, let me make it a little bit bigger. Right here, it crossed right there at the bottom, but then the actual symbol didn't pop up till right here. You see that this candlestick is a flat bottom. So this is our confirmation. Over here on the MACDs, both of them are above the 0. That's our confirmation. Over here on the RMMs, all of these lines are above the 0. That's a confirmation. And then over here, the blue is above the red. The black line is at 57, so that means it's above 50. That's a confirmation. So if you would have gotten in right there, and you went for 40 pips, you would have been good. So as 40 pips and you're out because it only went up 57 pips. And if you set the take profit, if you set the stop loss at 30, let's say 30 pips, 30 to 35 pips, it would have never came back down. So the best time frames to use this is on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. So yeah, I think it's really pretty simple. If you guys have any questions and need help setting up the indicators, just let either one of us know and we'll help you. We'll hop on a call and make sure you guys know how to set them up. And please, 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 please make sure that you go here and you click save, right? Because if you don't, then you're going to log in, it's going to be blank and you're not going to have all your indicators and you don't want to set them up all over again. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? Nope. Everything makes sense? I think so.
Alrighty, guys, if you think of anything when it comes time, you guys can literally use this tonight when you trade anything once you're actually on the harmonic scanner. You guys have our number, so just go ahead and text us. Other than that, I think we're pretty much done. So